Hey beauties and bosses, my name is Trinity. I am a beauty industry professional and welcome to my channel. As I mentioned in a previous video, I have been in the beauty industry for over 20 years. I know it's unbelievable to believe. Sometimes I don't believe the time has passed by so much, but yeah, it has been over 20 years. So today I want to talk about how I decided to become a hairstylist. It actually happened on accident because from as far as I can remember, maybe third, fourth grade, I think we went on like a field trip to a hospital and we got to kind of intern and shadow with nurses, doctors, people in the cafeteria and things like that. And I just kind of gravitated towards the nurses. And from then on, I decided when I grow up, I'm going to be a nurse. Graduated high school. I mean, I kept that feeling, that dream, that hope, that want, that desire all the way up into high school. Enrolled in college. I mean, the summer, right after I graduated high school, by July, graduated in June. By July, I was enrolled in college. My major was nursing. After a few prerequisite classes that included science, I realized, ooh, I don't want to do this. I'm not into this science, and this is just the prerequisite classes, anatomy 1, anatomy 2, biology, things like that. I can imagine what it will be like once I start nursing school. So, you know, I'm 20 years old or so, saying like, okay, I have a decent job. I was working at a call center as a customer service representative. I was making pretty decent money for my age. I had been there for a couple of years, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do this. And it was a lot of college students coming down to work at that particular job during the summer, or it was a lot of people my age that worked at that job. So it was fun. I was making good money, and I just was like, okay, I'll put the career thing on hold. But then after about 2 years of the college students that I really, became close with, would go back and forth to college, I kind of felt like I was being left behind, so to speak. So I'm thinking like, okay, I gotta do something. I want to do something else too. I don't want to be here all my life, but I don't know what I want to do. And then maybe like weeks later, I started asking a lot of the older people that had been with the company 15, 20 years. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I don't want to be working at this call center for 20 years. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because that may be something that someone else is okay with, they dreamed of, they enjoy doing. I'm definitely not downplaying that career path, but that I just knew that that's not something I want to do as my career path, as a long-term career. So I was talking to a friend and I was saying, wow, I don't know what I want to do. And about a year or so ago, I just came to the realization that's just not for me. So they were like, well, you got to figure it out. You're not getting any younger. So I took the time out and I asked myself, what is it about nursing that I really like? And let me see if I can find something that aligns with that type of career, or that type of characteristic of like the nursing field that I found attractive or interested in. So I wrote it down and I was like, okay, one, nurses help people feel better and feel good. Two, it's a job where you interacting with people all the time. I'm a people person. I was in customer service, always kind of been in some type of customer service business all of my life, from even high school as a cashier, and then I went to a call center customer service. So I'm a people's person. And thirdly, I like to make people happy at the end. I feel like nurses kind of like are the happy ones. Doctors are kind of serious, but the nurses are really sweet with the kids. They're really patient. They kind of talk to you. That's who you see when you first get to the hospital. They take your vitals, whatnot. So I said, well, what can I do that will allow me to do those things and provide those things to people and provide that fulfillment for myself? And I just had to think, like, what skills do I currently have that I can take advantage of? And I realized, like, oh, okay, well, I'm a pretty good hairstylist. I had been doing my hair from middle school. Every day I had a different hairstyle. So I said, well, maybe hairstyling. And then I got so good at hairstyling, I started to do my neighbors and my classmates here. They started asking me to do services on them. So I said, okay, well, you know what? I'll try cosmetology school. Not really thinking much of nothing of it. I go to cosmetology school and went in there just like, well, at least it's something. At least until I can figure out something else I want to do. I mean, I didn't really think that people take, the hair industry that seriously. Everybody and their mama does hair, kitchen hairstylists, unlicensed hairstylists, braiders, and all that stuff. But at least it's something to do. I can at least be being productive and like moving towards some type of career until I figure out something else, if that was the case. But after a few months in cosmetology school, I fell in love with it. Like from the foundation of hair, nails, and skin, different, shampoos and oils and treatments and colors and cutting techniques. And like first quarter, my teacher, she had been in the beauty industry for like 30, 40 years, and then she became like a cosmetology teacher and still was doing hair. And I think, honestly, I still think she still does hair. um, so she will make sure we get involved with different competitions, different classes, different hair shows. And I was just fascinated by the industry and the world. I would even volunteer my hair myself to be a model so I can be surrounded by, great hairstylists, great people that's in the industry, just kind of be in that environment of hair and the music and fashion and all that stuff. And it just kind of grabbed me and I loved it. So what was an accident for me was actually God's purpose, because look, 20 or so years later, I still have a passion for the beauty industry. So yeah, I ended up going to cosmetology school, doing well, didn't miss a assignment, didn't miss a day. And I actually did that because where I am from, you have to have 1,200 hours of education. So I was in school. I would work 8 to 5, and school would start like 5:30 or 6, and I'll be there until like 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. But it was easy for me because I actually was learning. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying being around other people that had that same passion. I met some really good friends in cosmetology school. Like people meet good friends in college. Like cosmetology school is its own little, gang or whatever like that. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into it, and pretty much the rest is history. Now, unfortunately, towards the end of me doing my cosmetology schooling, the love of my life, which is my father, he passed away. I think I had maybe like 6 more weeks before I was done, and it just kind of put a wrench in my life. So I took time off from cosmetology school to process and grieve the loss. And while I was dealing with that, I actually was considering on quitting cosmetology school. Now, he supported me, while I was in cosmetology school. He even, helped sponsor some of the trips I went on, different out-of-town conventions for hair and things like that. He knew I enjoyed it. I was passionate about it. And I'm so grateful for his support. But I just lost it because, he had passed away. So I was considering on quitting, and thank God for placing people in my life that just reminded me, one, you're on a good path, you're doing well, you're passionate about it, keep going. And also, your dad would be so proud of you. Go ahead and just finish up. So I just was like, okay, I gotta do this for him. If I don't do anything else, that was my motivation, because he was with me when I told him that's what I was gonna do. He was with me when I told him that I love it, and I feel like spiritually he was with me as I finished the course and as I graduated and so forth, so forth. So, that was my motivation and my drive, just to make him proud. And the focus was to make him proud. But then after, getting back into school and getting back into the groove of the beauty industry, my passion came back, and I just completed it full force, graduated, studied for the state board exam, and shockingly, I passed my first try. Rumor, was that most first-time exam takers for the state board for cosmetology, they don't usually pass the first time because it's a 2-part exam. It's theory and practical. So people usually pass the theory but not the practical, or practical and not the theory. But I actually passed both parts. I studied so hard, And in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking to my dad, I want to make him proud. I want to do this. I want to complete this. I have to do this for him, if not for myself. So that was my motivation. And they usually give you, I think, about 2 or 3 hours to take the exam because it is a lot of questions and it is a little stressful and it is a 2-part exam. But I studied, I believed in myself. I prepared myself, and I took both parts in 45 minutes. And the test administrators, they were actually shocked that I was finished that quick with both parts, and I passed with flying colors. So, thank God that I pushed through, because again, in hindsight, I'm just thinking like, yeah, I'm glad I really, really did this. Like, I finished it and I love it. I'm still in past my state board. I got another job working as a legal secretary at the state attorney's office. I enjoyed that. I actually was doing that. You know what? I was doing that the ending part of cosmetology school. So I was already there. And I actually told them when I got the job that, hey, I'm planning on, being a hairstylist, full time, potentially opening up my own salon, XYZ. I was just that passionate about it. So I was on a job interview telling them what I was going to do, basically telling them that, yeah, I'm going to work it for a little bit, but the plan is not to work it. So that was bold, now that I think about it. How do you tell people that, okay, thanks for this job, but this is just part-time? That's okay, I digress. Yeah, so I was working as a legal secretary, and I kind of drug my feet on doing it full time, because I'm like, okay, I have this license, I don't have too many clients, I have bills to pay. I don't know if I can do this. So I kind of like got scared and stagnant. But then something was always in me doing hair. So I did friends and family and, co-workers and classmates and things like that. I still kept doing it some way, somehow. And then at some point I'm like, you know what? I have to step out on faith and just do it, because I can't build a full clientele if I'm working at one job 8 to 5 and then I can only service clients after work and this, that, and the third. And it just became too much on me. And also, it was an inconvenience to other people, because it's like they want to come get their hair done in the daytime, or they want to come. They didn't want to have to come after they got off of work, or if they were off that day, they didn't want to have to come and do their hair at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. So I just realized, like, okay, maybe this is not gonna work, and if I need to quit my job, I'm gonna have to quit my job. But I was scared, you guys. I was scared. So I went on a 2-week Daniel fast. For those who are not familiar with that, that's a fast, a spiritual fast in the Bible. Daniel, he only ate fruit, nuts, grains, juice, things like that. So no meat, no drinking, no nothing. None of the fun stuff, but it was a sacrifice. And I just was asking God for clarity and guidance on how do I transition out of the regular work sector to being an entrepreneur and just fully doing it. So after the 2-week fast, I felt, elated, excited, and felt like, okay, I can do this. And I just reminded myself, okay, God said he'll supply all my needs according to his glorious riches. So he's going to take care of me. I can do this. So I ended up quitting my job with maybe a handful of clients, and they were barely paying me. They was kind of giving me $15, $25 and stuff like that. But I just stepped out on faith, and I just did it. And I'm glad I did. I mean, I'm not going to say it was always easy. Just like with anything, any business, there are your peak seasons and your low seasons. But God has always supplied. And I just, kept at it, kept going. So any of you that are in cosmetology school, who are considering on going to cosmetology school, it's not like, okay, you're going to just be booming just like that. It's going to take time to build a clientele. I would say it takes a good year and a half to build like a solid clientele, without, depending on walk-ins and new people and things like that. But yeah, that's my story. That's how I started. I still to this day watch videos. I have DVDs that I've spent umpteen dollars on, courses and classes. I have mentors in the industry. I go to conventions, I go to classes and courses still, even though I've been in the industry for over 20 years. you should always keep learning, and things change, and there are new techniques. And you know, the way to cut a bob back then was like take all these sections, but now there are new techniques where you can take big sections, you know, different angles, different color it's so much changing. So I'm constantly learning. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into the beauty industry. I'm glad I did. In the industry over 20 years, like I said, and I have published a hair care book, and now I'm on this hair journey with you guys, being a YouTuber, and I look forward to showing my knowledge, sharing my knowledge and experiences with you guys to help you on your hair journey. All right, beauties and bosses, thank you so much for your time, for your support, and for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on that notification bell below so that you can be notified when I make new videos and post new videos. Also, comment below any questions, concerns, if you agree, if you disagree, anyone that's in the beauty industry, any newbies to the beauty industry, any cosmetology students, people that's considering on going to cosmetology school. Comment below. Let's talk about it. Thank you again so much for watching this video. See you next time.